What's going on, world? This is the TYSK report. I got those articles lined up for you on the docket, so let's dive in. The YouTube app on Quest will let you co-watch videos with friends in VR. The YouTube app on Meta Quest is getting a nice upgrade. Instead of only being a way to watch videos by yourself, the app will now let you co-watch videos with up to 7 other people. To turn on the feature, which is launching in beta, make sure you have the latest version of the YouTube app and look for the co-watch icon at the top of the screen. Select that, and then in the window that pops up, select invite people. And then you can invite people from your followers list to watch things with you. The people you invite will also have to follow you back. With this, there are a few limitations. You can only co-watch 2D content, for example, and if you want to watch paid content like a movie, every person that's co-watching will have to separately pay for it, but the co-watching still seems like a useful way to hang out with people in VR if you rather not hang out in Horizon worlds, and it might feel less strange than Apple's spatial personas for the Vision Pro. So from my perspective, I think this is great. It gives people an opportunity to explore YouTube videos in another realm that they haven't before, but you can also watch it with other people. I also think this is the pebble that's going to create the ripple effect for content distribution and creation, but also content watching. So for content creators, let's just say you have a group of your followers that wants to watch a live tech event with you. You all can watch that, and I'm possibly sure that you'll be able to kind of pause and talk about it, but then even after that, you can engage in different discussions. Now, normally that does happen in the chat form on the side when people are live streaming and watching different things, but just imagine in a virtual world, you'll be able to do something a little bit differently where you're interacting with people beyond what you normally would think about. And then for people who love to watch content, this gives you an opportunity to explore that content that you normally watch from your favorite creator in a different light. Now, even though everyone does not have a Meta Quest, I think at some point in the future, it can get to a price point where lots and lots of people will have it. And then that is when this thing will start to really take off, and we could find that this is another world of exploration when it comes to watching YouTube videos and exploring YouTube videos. And that is some of the latest news. I'll make sure to keep you updated with any other information that arises. In the next article, the undead workforce. AI avatars could keep you on the job after you're gone. Wow. Interesting. Get ready for your employers to demand the right to create your AI avatar, putting you to work after you've quit, retired, been fired, or died. In sports, so-called image and likeness contracts are routine. Teams pay players to use their names, images, and likeness in advertising, games, and other places, noted Daryl Plummer. Today's workers need to plan for the eventuality that their employers might clone them with AI, Plummer said. Every one of us may be subject to the idea that our company wants to turn us into an AI avatar, he said. What happens when they do that? What if they make the avatar say something that you wouldn't be caught dead saying? The AI avatar might work on projects while you're working elsewhere or after you've left the company. Do you get paid twice? I'm assuming no is the answer, but you might negotiate better than I do, he said. And this quote says, by 2027, 70% of new contracts for employees will include licensing and fair use clauses for AI representations of employees' personas, Gardner predicted. So this was a very interesting article because just imagine having an AI avatar work as you from a company that you left. So let's say, for instance, that you were working at a company for 3 years, but then you decided to move on to another company for a better opportunity. Granted, that's what a lot of people do. But then for some reason, your AI avatar is still at that other company working very hard for that previous company that you left. And all of a sudden, as it's working hard, it's doing better than you did before. And then it's bringing in the company even more money than you were able to. And with that, let's say that some type of commission or incentive is attached to that. You would not be able to see any of that money because you're not there anymore, but that AI avatar will be able to receive that money. Now, I'm not sure in what form or fashion it would, but that's kind of the scenario that's being pointed out from this article. Also, this is how I think companies will get people to accept this. So listen in. Because there are many people who don't always like going to work every day, the opportunity for them to stay at home while the AI avatar works for them is going to be the key in this. Now, a company might present this to the people, and let's say, for instance, it has the AI avatar and then it has you. You might not want to come in, so then you say, hey, can I have my AI avatar work on my behalf today? And the company will say, sure. But then all of a sudden, the company is starting to give the AI avatar more hours and giving you less hours, but then it's continuing to pay you a little bit. But then slowly you'll start to see that the AI avatar is going to be keeping that money, but you'll be able to stay home with no pay. And then all of a sudden the AI avatar is producing and being more productive than you were, and soon the company could be letting you go and finding out that the AI avatar is providing more value than you could. This is the conundrum that can happen with this, because if you're letting the AI avatar work on your behalf, you're not able to show that you could be better than the AI avatar. Now I'm sure people are thinking, what about the jobs that are not related to technology from a digital standpoint? Well, with those physical jobs, they are working on trying to put more humanoid robots in different places, even in blue collar jobs. So just imagine having that humanoid robot working on your behalf, and then the same scenario can play out. So this one is very, very, very interesting. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out, because that quote about 2027 is very prominent, and soon we're going into 2025, and we already know that times moves by pretty fast. So this is just something to be on the lookout for and be aware of, because one day you could find yourself having to sign a new contract with the AI avatar clause in it. Let's move on to the next article. Kansas hospital begins robotic heart program with Stereotaxis surgical robot. Stereotaxis Incorporated last week announced that physicians at the University of Kansas Health System successfully treated the first patients with its Genesis system. The first use of the Genesis robotic magnetic navigation (RMN) system comes as part of a robotic heart program at the health system. Genesis delivers the benefits of robotic precision and safety to cardiac ablation and treat arrhythmias, said the St. Louis, Missouri-based company. Genesis uses smaller magnets that rotate along their center of mass, allowing for responsiveness to physician control. The smaller system can improve the patient experience, provide greater patient access, and increase lab space, said Stereotaxis. Flexible, rugged robotic arms hold the agents to increase the potential range of motion and allow for wider X-ray angulation. So this is another updated article when it comes to robots entering the healthcare space. Previously, I talked about telesurgery and how doctors were able to perform a surgery from another place while they had the robot do what it did and directed it. But when it comes to this is another way how robots are being implemented to help people when it comes to surgical procedures. So for some reason, I do believe that at some point someone's going to create a robotic hospital where it's going to have all this different types of technology doing different surgeries, but there's going to be a few doctors in there making sure that it's performing, doing what it's supposed to do. So that's kind of the futuristic landscape that we could be looking at in the future. But when it comes to people, I'm not sure how they would feel about that. So comment down below on your thoughts when it comes to a robotic hospital. In the next article, Apple now lets app developers apply to be featured on the App Store. App developers now have a new way to promote their app launches, updates, and other new features on Apple's App Store. Apple this week introduced a featuring nominations option in App Store Connect, which is the service developers use to submit their apps, games, and updates to the App Store. Now, instead of waiting for Apple to recognize their work, developers can nominate their own apps to be featured. This will allow developers to inform Apple about 3 different types of updates, new content, app enhancements, or new app launches. Ahead of the change, the App Store editorial team would create stories about apps and their developers, as well as roundups of apps into collections that are highlighted across the App Store's many sections and pages. Apple says it will also provide marketing materials for other big moments in an app's life cycle, like when it first launches or releases a new version. Apple's marketing assets will include a provided link that will direct consumers to download the app or game from the App Store. So this is great what Apple is doing. It gives them the opportunity to help bring more eyes to developers' apps, because they are definitely putting a lot of work bringing it to the people. Also, this is great for the people because they get to explore new apps that you probably don't see on a daily basis when you go into the App Store, or on a consistent basis when you go into the App Store. So this type of spotlight is going to be great for the ecosystem. I think this is going to encourage more developers to put that extra little tweak on their app, but also on the section where they put in their information to be featured. So then that way their app can be right in front of everyone's eyes when they go into that App Store. But if you have an iPhone, this is something exciting to look forward to. And for me, I'm looking forward to seeing what apps are going to be featured when this comes. Let's move on to the next article. NVIDIA's new all-in-one PC app launched out of beta on Tuesday. NVIDIA has been testing a single app that merges the GeForce experience and control panel over the past year. After rolling out several betas to make sure it works as intended, the company has officially launched the NVIDIA application, which is now available to download for users with its GPUs in their PCs and laptops. The company says the app is meant to make it easy to keep their NVIDIA Studio and GeForce Game Ready drivers updated and to give users quick access to its latest programs. Since is supposed to provide a unified experience. Users will be able to fine-tune the settings for their games and programs from within the app. NVIDIA explains that it designed the unified application to be 50% more responsive than the GeForce experience. It's also worth noting that the app will introduce a redesigned in-game overlay that simplifies access to gameplay recording tools, capable of capturing video in 4K at 120 frames per second, as well as AI-powered filters for those with RTX GPUs. So I think this article is perfect timing because it's coming off that announcement of NVIDIA and their GeForce Now capping the playtime for its users. So with this app, I think it's going to be very beneficial for the people who use it, and it's great that companies like NVIDIA are continuing to provide products that are going to be beneficial to those people. But that's some of the latest news with NVIDIA, and let's move on to the next article. Pixel phones will be able to detect and report malicious apps in real time. Google is beefing up its malware detection with new protections designed to suss out ever sneakier bad actors. Android Google's Play Protect service is getting an update called Live Threat Detection, which seeks out potentially harmful apps on your phone by analyzing app behavior and alerts you in real time if something looks fishy. The update was first announced at Google I/O earlier this year and is available now to Pixel 6 and newer phones. It should come to additional non-Pixel Android phones from Lenovo, OnePlus, Nothing, and Oppo, among others, in the coming months. Live Threat Detection targets particularly hard to spot malware apps that hide their intentions well. Rather than just scanning apps for malicious code when you download them, Play Protect will keep looking for signs of suspicious app behavior even after they're on your phone. This can help it spot malware that remains dormant at first and later starts engaging in malicious activity. This detection takes place on device using an Android privacy infrastructure called Private Compute Core to help keep user data secure, and users will get real-time alerts to take action if needed. So I think this is really great for the people who have the Pixel 6 and newer versions of the phone. You no longer have to worry about any malicious apps being downloaded to your phone or working in the background to take your data or do something bad to your phone. So this will be able to put your mind at ease, and in a time where there are a lot of challenges and security issues and data breaches, this is something important, and I'm glad that Android is doing this for those people with those devices. Let's move on to the next article. And then we have Waymo. Waymo robotaxis are now available to everyone in Los Angeles. Waymo is ditching its waitlist in Los Angeles, much like it did before in Phoenix and San Francisco, making its fully autonomous vehicles available to anyone who downloads the company's Waymo One app. There are still some geographic limitations with which to contend. Waymo only operates within 80 square miles of Los Angeles County, which includes neighborhoods such as Hollywood, Chinatown, Westwood, Marina del Rey, Mara Vista, and Playa Vista. According to the CEO of Waymo, now is an exciting time to welcome everyone in Los Angeles along for a ride. Our service has matured quickly and our riders are embracing the many benefits of fully autonomous driving. We're so grateful to all of our first riders in LA, and we can't wait to serve more riders soon. So in a previous video, I talked about how Waymo does 150,000 paid trips per week, along with 1 million miles driven with the Waymo vehicle per week. So this is going to increase even more now that more people have access to it. I do believe that this could shake up things when it comes to the ride-hailing space, because now, even though Waymo's vehicle could be a little slower when it comes to ride-hailing services like Uber and Lyft, we could start to see more people utilize Waymo a little bit more than Uber or Lyft. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. And if any other news arises with this, I will definitely make sure to keep you updated, because Waymo could be coming to a city near you. So that's just some of the latest news when it comes to the world of technology. There's always exciting things happening. You definitely don't want to miss out. You want to make sure you stay informed. And in order to do that, you should like the video, subscribe, and tell a friend to subscribe, and then tell a friend to subscribe. And then with that, you can check out these two videos right here with those friends, because this will keep you all informed about the things you should know happening in the world of technology.